Hello everybody, welcome back, and if you are new, my name is Velga, and in this channel I do lots of fantasy art, and today I'll be showing you a monster I designed. But before that, I'd like to thank you all for subscribing, for liking, commenting on my videos, because it really helps me grow my channel. And now I will give you a short backstory of where this monster is going to be. So on Persevera, my world, I made the continent called Glaive, and on the northern part here, northern part of Glaive is called Northern Glaive, and in Northern Glaive, I have been spending some time over here in the Foggy Marsh area and the Harvester Woods, designing lore. And if you'd like to see lore in these places, then go ahead and watch these videos of mine. Links in the description below. But over here, right here in the east, right here is a town called Gale Rend. And I have not made artwork and lore for the town of Gale Rend before, not yet. I have a vague idea though, but I haven't officially made lore for it or made artwork to show for it. Nothing to show, but I will soon. But anyway, even though I haven't added lore for Gale Rend, I do want to just hang around here for now. Previously, I started lingering around this forest right here by designing a dragon that could live here. And that dragon is called the Shotgun Dragon, and I made a video about that one too. Links also in the description. But I was very happy with that dragon because it looked like something that would just belong in this forest, in the deep, dense forest. So today I will be showing you yet another monster that will also be living here, called the Blood Orchid. And as the name implies, and also as the visuals also implies, this is an actual orchid, like it's a flower. Looks like an orchid, and it is a plant-based monster. It is carnivorous, and its main source, get this, of food are people, us. So in my world, Persevera, the world itself is so old, and mankind has existed for so long that the animals and plants have had enough time to evolve into these absolute killing machines that specialize on preying on people. And even though mankind has existed for so long, they always experience a halt in technological innovations because of massive wars that occur once every several thousand years. And I'll get to this war topic in a future video, but for now that'll be enough. To just put things into perspective as to why the entire world has pretty much kept on moving forward in terms of evolution. Plants and animals, they keep getting better at killing humans, but the humans never seem to make any progress. So the Blood Orchid itself is a perfect example of that. A monster that has just evolved to very efficiently kill humans because it just has had enough time to evolve to be that way. And in the deep dark depths of this forest, this is where the story comes in. Let's say a drifter, and let's say this drifter is you. Imagine you're walking through this deep dense forest. You could be going to Gale Rend, or you could be leaving it, or you could simply be hunting, you could be foraging. You are in search for food to fill your stomach. And you were not born in Gale Rend, you have not spent your entire life in Gale Rend. You have spent a mere couple of weeks there, because you're a drifter. You just do odd jobs, little jobs to survive. You don't have a place to call home, and you constantly move from place to place. Any place that would help you survive. And now you've learned a lot of things from the townspeople you were staying at before you went to Gale Rend. And you came there to Gale Rend with a group of travelers, and it took you a while. It took you a while to get through the forest itself, to get to Gale Rend with those travelers, but you did manage to arrive in the end. and you learned some things about the forest along the way from the people you were traveling with and from you yourself witnessing what the forest is like. And you learn even more about the forest itself from the townspeople of Gaelrend, to an extent, of course. Not the whole thing, because you can't possibly learn everything. There is to learn in a mere 2 weeks. And this evening, the moon is full, the moon is out, and the land is bright. And you decided to keep on hunting instead of setting up camp. And along the way, you meet someone, a woman, and she seemed to be sleeping on a patch of grass in a clearing where the moonlight shined through. And you cannot help but ask yourself, why? Why is a woman sleeping there with no equipment, no weapons, and exposed to the harsh environment, to the extremes, to the weather, with all of this wildlife just running around? It's very dangerous. And you think maybe you're looking at a body, or maybe even a ghost, and you're frozen in your tracks. But after a little while, you realize that what you're looking at is actually there, it's alive, because you can see her chest move, like she's breathing. So you decide to come closer, slowly come closer, just to get a better look. You're not sure if you should unsheath your sword, just out of paranoia, it could be a trap. Or you could call out to her instead to wake her up. And all of a sudden you feel a harsh thud just hitting your body, and you're hit with this painful pressure. And as you look down, you see that you have been impaled by what looks like giant plant roots. And you're shocked to find the woman that was previously asleep on the ground is now standing right in front of you, just staring at you with eyes wide open. And a feeling of exhaustion quickly consumes you. And you feel so tired, now you just cannot help but fall asleep. So that would be the lore for the blood orchid. And this actually came from someone who commented on my community post saying, because I did mention how I couldn't decide to name this blood orchid or the man-eater orchid. But somebody said if it depends on the way it kills people, because if it drains blood, then the name blood orchid would be more suitable. And yeah, like whoever said that was right. So I went with blood orchid, and the manner in which it would do that to someone, just kill them, would be to just drain their blood, almost like a plant vampire. And I'm going to go ahead to CSP now so I can show you what I'm inspired by when it came to designing this monster, which is just two things really. Okay, so here we go. So we're on CSP, and this is the blood orchid. As you can see, she is a legit orchid. Looks like an orchid, right? And I'm inspired by number one, orchids. Why? Because orchids are quite, at least for me, the way they look, they're quite sexual in nature. And I don't know if you know this, but they actually pollinate by attracting bugs, because they can imitate by making themselves go through evolution, so that now whatever parts that they have that is being used to pollinate looks like a female bug. It's very, very interesting. So I applied that same trivia, but to this fantastical monster instead. And the second one is, I don't remember the name of the movie this was in, but it's a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I don't know which one, I don't remember, but there was this one scene where a bunch of pirates were on a little boat in the middle of the ocean, and somebody, one of them, just notices, hey, there's this woman just dangling off the edge, just looking at them. just out of nowhere. It's as if some woman just swam up to the boat and just rested her hands and her head on top of her hands on the edge of the boat. And they came closer to get a better look. And turns out she's a mermaid, and she would drag one of them just into the ocean. And yeah, I applied the same principle here. This one looks like a woman, right? But no, it's actually a plant. And if you come close enough to her, she'll just kill you. And do you see this on her head? There are two things to notice. This part right here, it's a bunch of holes, okay? And it's releasing lots of these particles into the air. And these particles is supposed to just make you relax and like dull your senses. And also these on the sides, it's supposed to do the same thing. And how it does it is, imagine you're just walking by. Your senses are super sharp, usually super sharp, because you're a hunter or something. But then because of this in the air, you won't even notice it affecting you. But this would just dull your senses, because she definitely looks, I mean, if you look closely, she does not look like she is a human, because just look at her, you know, like look at her appearance. She's green all over, look at her toenails. Purple skin, also green skin. But this would dull your senses into sort of thinking slowly, and your first reaction would be just to look at her and see her and just think, okay, that's a human. But what would normally take you like 5 seconds to realize, maybe you would take a couple of minutes, and that's enough for this blood orchid to just kill you. And I made sure to make the petals, the flower petals of the orchid itself look red. And you can see these tentacles in the back, sticking out of the back. It's bloody. This is the part that's supposed to suck blood. And also this one on the other side. And also I made sure to have her hands all bloody. It's not her blood, it's yours. And also her mouth, like this. It's just messy all over with your blood. She got you. You fell for it. And now you're either completely consumed and you're just shriveled up on the forest floor somewhere, or she's saving you for later and she stored you inside this pitcher plant looking thing. I'm sure you've seen it before, like a pitcher plant. It's also like a type of carnivorous plant that it traps insects and even small rodents, and it would just fall in there. But she's using it as like a throne. And if she wants to store you for later, she'll just store you in there and eat you later. And look at all these tentacles in the back. I think it's really cool. And I really like these veins. Like these veins look kind of scary, right? Because she looks human. But even plants have veins everywhere. But we don't really see them as like being creepy or anything, because it's just like plant veins. But if you put veins on a human, it looks creepy and scary. Because and because she looks human, even though this is clearly a plant, it makes it look scary. And I wanted to play around with somehow making it so that it's called the blood orchid, not only because the way it kills you and the kinds of stuff it eats, which is your blood, but also because it's blood red, and possibly it's blood red because it's just covered in blood. You see all these particles? It's as if the petals itself are actually green, but it's just covered with people's blood, and it looks red now. But not many people can live to tell the tale or to confirm this, because no one survives. And no one really talks about this thing existing, because it's more of like a rumor, kind of like Bigfoot in our world. No one really survives to tell the tale, and if you were to tell people about it, they won't really believe you. but if you come across one, chances are you just won't survive. And I really like how she's just staring into my soul. Look at her eyes. Ooh, cold, cold eyes. I really like it. But anyway, okay, I'll just give you this view while I talk. Anyway, there are other plants that are also carnivorous, but I think it's best to just not use every single thing that exists out there as reference, because that will just muddy the design too much. And I'm really happy with how the blood orchid turned out. And I'm not good at writing. I'm instead good at visualizing things. And in this case, it's the blood orchid and the shotgun dragon. And all of the other stuff, concepts, designs that I haven't shown you for this area surrounding Gale Rend. If I just sort of keep on designing these things, the area, the lore will sort of just write itself. So that's what I intend to keep on doing. So what do you think, guys? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And if you have any good concept recommendations, be it monster or equipment or characters, environments, could be anything that you think would be a cool addition to Persevera, that would also be cool. Thank you again. Thank you for watching, for subscribing and liking my videos. And I'll be seeing you next week.